Hello, welcome to my first video in a while. It's gonna be ASL Season 6 Team Review, or Draft Review. So, last time I posted about the ASL was when I bought Country Boy Cam and I realized I cannot do live comms without messing things up. So, we're gonna just try restarting this season, try to get out a few videos. And go over the draft that I got for ASL Season 6. So, for reference, this was a points-based draft. We all got 1,180 points, and there's 6 tiers of mons. Tier 1 was worth 180 points, Tier 2 is worth 120 points, Tier 3 is worth 100 points, Tier 4 80, Tier 5 60, and Tier 6 40. So I was the second pick in this draft, and I ended up getting sniped round 1 by Ferret, who picked up the Celesteela. So I wanted a big mon that would really be able to be put on every team and really have a threat presence. So that came down to Megaladios in Kyurem Black, and I decided to go with Megaladios because I had more plans around it. So I decided to pick it up. It's a very threatening mon. I would say definitely the strongest Mega by far in the league. Offers a lot of offense, threatening offense, but can also do some defense with Calm Mind. Maybe will be the kill leader for this season, but it might also just be there to break for my other threatening wall breakers. For example, my second mon is Diggersby. So this is a very strange pick for people who are familiar with draft leagues for a second mon. Diggersby was a tier 2 mon, and I decided that I wanted either Mamoswine or Diggersby. I was leaning towards Mamoswine because Mamoswine's coverage is so threatening in draft. Like, most of the time there's only going to have one reliable switch in, which is a bulky water. And I thought that I would get it, considering that it came literally down to the one pick before me, and Susie snipes me from that Mamoswine pick. So I decided to go with my plan B with the Diggersby, which I'm pretty happy with. Diggersby is a mon that I wanted to use for a while now, ever since I used it in an off season and did pretty well with it. Its huge power lets it send out really powerful attacks. It has dual dance potential with agility and SD. It has pretty threatening typing coverage with Earthquake, ground stab, and return normal stab. It also has some threatening coverage moves like Ice Punch, Knock Off, Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot being really nice for Megaladios, who doesn't really like those fairies. Earthquake being really nice for those steel types that Megaladios doesn't have. It's really just a really threatening mon to switch into. And one of the themes I wanted to go with in this draft is really threatening solid value pick mons that people are going to have a real time prepping it, or a real hard time prepping against. And Diggersby was one of those mons that I felt that I could do well with, and I could also bring a lot of different sets with. And I also made this Diggersby a Z captain. It's kind of because I didn't really have many great Z captains, you'll see later. But I think Diggersby will be a really nice mon to build with, where I can bring it to a lot of games and just be able to secure a lot of kills. It can also break for Latios, as Latios can break for Diggersby. And I think it's going to be a really nice pick for me. Third up, I have Water TJ, the Milotic. I don't know if it's going to stay as Water TJ, but Water TJ does something that's really threatening, because it is probably one of the best water types, bulky waters out there. And initially, I wanted to get Suicune, but that was also sniped before me, so I had to pick. I was looking through Tier 2 waters and Tier 3 waters, and I had two options. It was pretty much either Milotic or Vaporeon, and I decided that I wanted to go with Milotic because Milotic has a solid four moves, a solid four move set, which is Scald, Recover, Haze, and Toxic. And not a lot can break through it. It has really nice speed. It can have really nice defense if you go with a Flame Orb Marvel Scale set, or just like high defense in general. So Milotic is really tough to break. Because if you're going for setup sweepers, you can haze it away with Milotic. So if you need +2 or +3 to break it, you're gonna have a hard time doing so. So usually, in order to break Milotic, you have to. It can be really tough to build that into a team, especially if you're trying to deal with Mega Latios and Diggersby coming in potentially for free if you're trying to do some taunt stuff. And if you toxic it, then you boost its defense. If you try to have your game plan being to toxic it to deal with it and it's Flame Orb, then you are kind of screwed with actually dealing with it. It makes Milotic really tough to break. And that was something that I've noticed about Milotic from other drafts, and I decided that I wanted to use myself. Moving on, fourth pick, starting to secure cores. So you can pretty much the main cores that people usually head for is the Dragon Fairy Steel core, or Water, Grass, and Fire core. And I decided to pick up Roserade to start finishing off. And if you can see my next pick, you'll see that I finished off a Fire, Water, Grass core. Roserade is just a really solid grass type mon. I was thinking that something that this team would like. I thought Diggersby had Stealth Rocks and Spikes, but I was mistaken. It just has Spikes. So I was thinking, oh, T-Spikes might be really nice with Milotic, because Milotic's kind of a passive mon. While I said that Wall Break or Setup Sweepers might be able to get through it because it's pretty passive, and if like a Sword Stance is enough to break through Milotic, then perhaps they can break through Milotic. So I wanted something that would, if I had to be in a situation where I had to haze every time on a Sword Stance or something like that, I want to be able to get some chip in with perhaps Toxic Spikes. And Toxic Spikes with a bulky water in general is really nice. So I thought Roserade is really nice for that. And it's a really versatile pick because it can be very offensive with a base 125 special attack. It has really good coverage simply because Technician allows for those hidden powers to become base 90. Leech Seed support could be really annoying. And it offers some cleric abilities with aromatherapy. It's a really nice mon for bulk and kind of offense. It's pretty much, it will fulfill the needs when I need it to. Like if there's, let's say, I'm blanking here. This mon, Roserade does well against a lot of mons, and it's just really solid grass type. And for a core, you really want a really solid grass, water, and fire type. So next up, I picked up Darmanitan. And Darmanitan is a very scary mon to switch into, as well as Diggersby. With Diggersby and Darmanitan, that gives me a kind of the start of a Volt Turn core, where Diggersby and Darmanitan both get U-turn, and people will most likely switch out on them if they have solid answers. So Darmanitan was the kill leader of Season 3, I think. Season 3 or 4. I don't remember. But Darmanitan's with the classic name, the Crispy Gorilla, shoutouts to Ghost. It pretty much does something. Its sheer force boosted flare blitzes are pretty much impossible to switch into unless you have the bulkiest of waters with reliable recovery. Like I said, those being like Milotic, Vaporeon, some kinda, Slowbro and Slowking. There's not too much that really wants to switch into Darmanitan. Even like Suicune. Suicune doesn't have the most reliable recovery, so if Suicune switches into some like a Scarf or Life Orb Flare Blitz or even Banded, it can really put a hole into it. And another option it has is it can potentially be Belly Drum, which is something that's really been coming up in the ASL, where a surprise Belly Drum out of nowhere really just runs through an entire team. And that's, I guess, it's not so much a surprise now that I'm blabbing about it, but it can be something that's an option for Darmanitan in the future. So, going into my 6th pick, so this is kind of an early Ditto pick, and I kind of know that, but looking at my team, I had base 110 speed with Latios, I had base 95 with Darmanitan, and I really knew that something I wouldn't be able to pick up much with my remaining points is speed. Speed and speed control are very important, especially when going up against other offensive teams. So Ditto is just an instant answer for speed control, because it will always pretty much copy your opponent, and it will pretty much always be Scarf, so it will pretty much always be faster than your opponent. Ditto also provides something that's really nice, is that it's really tough to prep for. It changes your mindset, and with my hard-hitting Latios and Diggersby and Darmanitan, and my really bulky, really annoying to deal with Milotic, and I guess Roserade being really flexible, it really just shoves someone into a corner when prepping against me. Because, like, if you want coverage, if you want a sweeper that can abuse my speed tiers, you really can't bring it against Ditto unless you're planning on getting a sub up, planning on having you can't break yourself. And that probably means that Milotic will be able to come in and haze on it. You really can't do much against Ditto. One thing that I was criticized on with my Ditto pick was that Milotic is already a solid way to deal with setup sweepers, but Milotic doesn't want to switch in on setup sweepers. So I thought that Ditto would be really nice for pretty much making my draft as annoying as possible. So that's my first 6. Going into the second half of the draft, I decided to pick up Hitmonlee. So as you noticed before, I didn't really have too much hazard removal. Like, Latios Defog was my only hazard removal at that point. My gears in my head were like, okay, I want mons that will be useful to the team, that can be hazard removal and also potentially be useful for other things. Because I've had things like Donphan, and you use these mons pretty much just for hazard removal, and it's kind of annoying because, like, it's hard to fit them onto teams, and they don't really do much except for, like, get those hazards up or potentially get off hazards. And I wanted something that when picking my mons, I wanted something that would provide something of use that provides something of use to the team. So Hitmonlee, it's very threatening with reckless high jump kicks. And while most of the time with Hitmonlee you're thinking, I just want to click my attacking move, I don't want to have to click spin, it does give me some more options for getting rid of hazards. Hopefully it deters hazard removal, or hazards in general, which is something I really like, not having to deal with. But Hitmonlee also has other options. It has Unburden options to deal with that speed control that I was talking about before. It has priority in Mach Punch and Bullet Punch and Fake Out, which could be really nice for finishing off mons that I tried to wear down with Diggersby and Latios, especially if they're like bulky mons that don't have reliable recovery like Suicune. Hitmonlee can potentially be the mon to finish them off. It also gets knockoff, which is always nice. It also has Sucker Punch, something that I didn't really realize until now. But Hitmonlee, an offensive fighting types I've had fun with in the past. I found that I didn't really want a defensive one like Hitmonchan or Hitmontop because I've kind of had mixed to bad experiences with them. I didn't really like them. So Hitmonlee, I knew I was like, and it's a comfort pick. In draft leagues, comfort picks are kind of important because if you're comfortable with using them, your opponent might not expect you. They might expect the Diggersby to be coming and the Latios to be coming. But if they get swept by a Hitmonlee, they'll never expect it coming. They'll never see it coming. Hitmonlee can just perhaps get a win out of nowhere, which is something that I like. So moving on, I was still focusing on hazard removal. It was running out of points. I wanted something a bit more valuable that might go pretty soon. So I thought I would pick up Avalugg. And Avalugg was something that I've thought about drafting before. It has Recover and Rapid Spin, which is really nice. It's really bulky defensively. If you've seen some of my walls before, they're more Spadef focused. So getting that physically super bulky mon is really nice. There are some very niche mons that are really hard to deal with. Something like Kyurem Black. Avalugg can come in on Kyurem Black, pretty much wall any physical kind of hits that it will want. Even like an Iron Head from Kyurem Black will still kind of get eaten up by Avalugg. Problem is that there's a flinch chance and that becomes annoying. But Avalugg's just like, I think it was a 60-point mon, a tier 5. I felt that it was really low value or low point value, high like utility value, and it was something that I could pick up, could kind of use effectively because I like my bulky mons with reliable recovery. I thought it could be really nice. Maybe like get that 3 to 4 games that would really make it impossible for my opponent to break through my team. So that's why I was looking forwards to Avalugg. Next up, I was pressured into picking up Florges. Pretty much at the end of the draft, if I didn't have a Fairy Dragon Steel Core like I was saying before, you really want to have something to I wanted to back up my Mega Latios more because people will be prepping for it, and if it's in a strong Fairy Dragon Steel Core, then it just backs up the Mega Latios, makes it more difficult to deal with. So I picked up my last 120 point mon, my last tier B mon with Florges. I was thinking, I was actually a bit pressured into picking this by Excellent Name. I was looking at his draft. He did something similar to me as picking more value pick mons, leaving some points till the end. And I noticed that he didn't have a fairy type. So I was like, okay, I don't know what he's looking for. He's either taking a Tapu, which I guess it would be Tapu Fini or Tapu Bulu. He ended up taking Mega Altaria, which was way out of. Or he's taking the Florges. And I was thinking, well, with the way he's going, he's probably gonna pick up another 180 point mon, another 120 point mon, and he didn't have a Mega, so I was thinking, wow, he's gonna pick up Megazard X, and he's gonna pick up Florges. But I want Florges. I need a fairy type. I need a strong fairy type. So I was like, I guess I'll have to pick up Florges before he takes it. So I decided to take it. It offers me another defogger, which is something I was pretty excited about, because while I had picked up hazard removal in Hitmonlee and Avalok, they're not like hazard removal that you would bring to every single game. And while I was talking about how I didn't really like mons that were just hazard removal, Florges does offer wish support to my other fat mons. Something like Diggersby and Darmanitan, which are semi-fat without, but they're also really threatening offensively. Just getting a wish into them lets me pretty much get a free switch into a free kill. So that was something that was really exciting. Also for that Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Also that it can also be a threat in itself with being a Calm Mind Sweeper. I believe. Yes, a Calm Mind Sweeper. Which is something that I had in Mega Latios. But like, having a bulky Calm Mind Sweeper is pretty nice. Kind of taking that role of the psychic, bulky psychic type that my Mega Latios probably wouldn't be able to fulfill most of the time. So, going on to the next mon, decided to pick up Crustle. So Crustle was a low pick mon. At the end of your draft, you have to think niche picks that are gonna be usable. And Crustle was another 60 point mon, another niche pick that I thought I was gonna be able to use. This is my first Stealth Rocks of the team, which kinda sucks that I don't have any higher picked or higher valued Stealth Rock mons. But it's fine. People did not like that my draft didn't have any higher valued Stealth Rock mons. Or any other Stealth Rock mons after this one. I thought that Diggersby was Stealth Rocks, but I was mistaken. So obviously Crustle, if it's coming, it's probably gonna be Stealth Rocks, or it could be Shell Smash. And Shell Smash is something that's really threatening just to prep for, because if you don't prep at least a little bit for Shell Smash, you're gonna lose a Shell Smash. And there are times when you see, like, at the end of the season, people are securing their picks or they're securing their spots in playoffs, and someone just doesn't expect the Shell Smash lower tier mon out of nowhere to sweep a game. So Crustle can potentially do that for us. It's also another bulky mon, another slow mon, like things that I tend to like in my draft as to use in general. And it does have sturdy, so I am picking up a lot of sturdy mons at the very end. Things that might complement with the fact that now I have 2 defoggers and 2 rapid spin, and can deter those setup sweepers, because setup spam is something that happens a lot in draft league teams. So if Ditto doesn't work, then perhaps these sturdy mons can stop it from rolling through my team. I guess time to move on to the very end. Magneton. So people, Fairy Dragon Steel, of course, you need the Steel. Steel type is one of the most important typings to have. Going in with my last 160 points, I decided to pick up Magneton. And Magneton, or Magnezone in Mega Latios, is a tried and true core from OU. So it's like, Magneton is a budget Magnezone, so I'll just pick up Magneton. Magneton is kind of, some people are 50-50 over which one's better, Magneton or Magnezone. Magnezone obviously has more power, but Magneton has actually more speed. It has the ability to run run Eviolite and possibly be bulkier. Electric and steel coverage is pretty nice. Magnet Pull is really nice for dealing with steel types. And it also has a dual screens option, which I think could be really nice for my stronger Pokemon, something like Megalodios if I want to Calm Mind Sweep, Diggersby if I want to Dual Dance, Darmanitan if I want to Belly Drum, things like that. Dual screens is really nice for. But having Magneton as your only steel type with 4 times weakness to ground isn't usually the best option, even if you have a lot of things covering your ground weakness. So I decided to pick up on guard the Escavalier, another steel type, not weak to ground. It is 4 times weak to fire, which could be something that could be brought for my steel types. But Escavalier is a strange pick, picking my type overlapping with Crustle and Magneton. Escavalier is probably not going to be in the same team as either of them, but it's fine. It's an end pick, it's a niche pick. So Escavalier, it offers a lot in terms of, this is the bulky steel type. This is the one that will be more of a wall. It will be more of a. It will also be another physical powerhouse. If you're not expecting the coverage of Megahorn, maybe if you got a bulky psychic type to deal with my other mons, maybe Escavalier comes in, Megahorns you, you're dead. It brings another knockoff mons. Knockoff spam could work. SD is an option. Something that could work with Magneton. Yeah, it's a mon that I'm pretty comfortable with. So, overall, how do I feel about this draft? This draft is a lot of comfort picks, a lot of mons that are really annoying to prep for, in my opinion. Bits on the slow side. Just like without setup, I am slow, and I will admit that. And I have been in a situation before where Ditto doesn't completely fix the speed problems, but I have a feeling that if speed is the name of the game, then my bulk can deal with it. I have pretty good bulk, pretty good, not great speed, not great hazard setters, as in I only have 1 stealth rocker, but I do have 3 spikers. Spikes could work out. I think something that's being really nice at the start of this draft, I was rated the 2nd worst draft in the power rankings of All-Stars, of the All-Star Showdown League, which is kind of interesting, because I think people are sleeping on this team, and then they're gonna start prepping for it. They're gonna be like, okay, what can switch into Megalodios? Oh crap, that can't switch into Darmanitan. Oh crap, that can't switch into Diggersby. Oh crap, what do I do about Shell Smash? Oh crap, there's a Ditto. Oh crap, what do I do against... How do I break Milotic? Oh crap, Roserade setting up T-Spikes. I think that people are going to see me in playoffs, honestly. I think this is a playoff team. I think this is much better than my last team where I was dealing with paranoia because all of my top tier mons were really squishy and I couldn't really do much, and I kind of meme picked with not much utility at the very end with Triple Reggie. And I'm very happy with this team. And I guess that's all. Anyone who's listening at the very end, want you to know that see me beating you later on this season. Something cocky like that. Who knows, maybe this will be a Country Boy Cam situation where I'm so hyped up, so ready to go with these videos, then I get cammed and get knocked out and embarrassed myself. Who knows? See you later.